Hey, what's up everybody? Thanks for clicking on the video. This is David Pendleton, and now I'm covering the back 9 holes of the Pro Division Bierfest tournament. This is of course the final round. I ended up with a minus 32 on this account, minus 31 on the other. You can see here a minus 17 back 9, but at the end of the day, you know, these minus 32s, minus 31s, they're not even close to be able to compete in a tier 3 top skill bracket tournament, as we got minus 38s leading the way. So very tough, very challenging. I did the best that I could for you to show you as many drop shots as possible. Let's go ahead and head into hole number 1. Hole number 1, we're getting direct tailwind for the most part. So we will back our target up because we are trying to get like a certain yard range on the drive to make shot number 2 easier. So in this type of tailwind, you typically see me back it up here, and I put my reference point with my white ring on the rough line, just kind of like that. We do make our wind adjustment. But overall, this is a very easy drive. I think by this point, we all know what we're doing on hole number 1. It just comes down to shot number 2 to make sure we get this ball in the hole. I was able to pick it up on both my accounts, just essentially playing it 1-to-1. I was able to go 5.2 bars of backspin, as you're going to see here. And then about half a bar of side spin to the right. Here, I'm just trying to find that funnel. As you can see, I move my target around until I get a good sticky spot. I do have the ball guideline going through the back of the pin. That's good, because that makes sure we're going to get that speed. Sometimes in tailwind here, if you misadjust, you actually don't catch the slope on the way back down. You kind of get stuck up there like you see we almost did there. So don't accidentally overpower your shot. But pretty much we line this one up and it's going dead center. Like I said, I was 2 for 2 on hole number 1 on the back 9. That'll take us to hole number 2. Now, hole number 2, I'm going to show you 2 shots. I'm going to show you one with the Kingmaker, and then I'm going to show you one with the Centurion. Obviously, if we're using a Centurion ball, we have less wind, makes it a lot easier. Now, here we're going to be using the Kingmaker. We're going to be playing at 30% at max, like we always do. I'm going with a little bit of topspin combined with about half a bar of side spin to the right. Now, if you think about this hole, we don't normally like to use topspin because we can catch a roll and just kind of like miss the funnel. But because of this slight flicker of headwind that we're getting, we do have to add a little bit of topspin. What was happening is when I wasn't adding it, I was just trying to figure out the side spin to the right. The ball kept coming up short. So you just have to remember that. And sometimes if you accidentally underpower, you're going to come up like way short. I mean, it's still an easy putt, but you will be short for sure. We also have the wind pushing from left to right, which means we're going to have to offset this shot a little bit to the left, which you're going to see here in a second. But the other challenging thing about this hole is if you're not good at pushing your rings, this will be a little bit of a struggle for you because you're going to have to push your rings here as well. This is a very important hole to pick up a hole-in-one on if you're looking to compete in the tournament. I would say if you had a great front 9 and you're kind of looking at the standings and you have a chance to get there, then you're going to want to practice this shot to get the setup right and get the push right. Now you can see here I hit a nasty great shot to the right and the ball still almost drops. I only showed this replay because it's a free-to-play ball. I'm going to end up doing the exact same adjustment here with this ball, and you're going to notice the wind's not much difference. This is basically 5 miles an hour. This was 5.6. But same thing, 30% at max. At this point, this is the real mode, so I kind of have a good idea of what to set my spins at. About 0.2 top, half a bar side spin to the right. You can see here I've got a nice funnel line with the offset to the left-hand side of the cup. That's where we want to be. I'm also up here at the +3 yard mark of my sniper. I think that's a great spot to be. When I was accidentally at the +2, again, I was hitting perfect shots and coming up short. So make sure that we're at that +3, +4 yard mark, I would say. Here with a perfect ball, I do get this shot to drop. That little bit of wind resistance does help. We do come in dead center with the offset to the left. All right, so there's a couple different looks at it. Obviously, if you have wind resistance 5 balls, that's great as long as they're power 3. And the side spin doesn't really matter. You don't need like a kingmaker type of side spin because we're only using half a bar of side spin to the right anyways. I don't really typically show too many money balls. Well, this isn't a money ball. This is a free-to-play ball if you've ever been to C100 before. But I know people are limited with that kind of ball. That's why I wanted to show you a kingmaker first. But I don't use too many money balls. But in a tournament like this, final round, I had to just get a couple out there to even try to crack the top 10 so I could try to get some of my berserkers and stuff back. But I don't even think that's going to happen. All right, hole number 3 here. We're playing 10% at max, and we're going to be going 5 top, 1 bar, a side spin to the right. Again, I always leave a little bit of room between my yellow ring and the rough line there, just in case I hit, a great shot. I just leave myself room all over on this hole. I always do. This is, again, another scenario in which we're pushing our rings. There's a lot of pushing here on the back 9. But, we do hit a perfect shot. At the end of the day, we've played this shot before in tournaments past, and it's the same thing I'm trying to do with the Guardian. I'm just trying to play very close to the pin. I'm trying to go max backspin and get this ball to just back up into the hole, kind of like we would a max backspin thorn shot. So we're going to go max back here, half a bar of side spin to the right. And you're going to notice I'm playing a very aggressive line right up on the pin. Now, let's take a look here on exactly where these green squares are that I'm aiming at. Yep, I zoom in just to give you a good look real quick. I always try to do that when I play. So basically, this is exactly where I'm aiming at. Look at the ball guideline. Basically, that bounce is right in front of the pin. It's a good reference point. Remember, I used half a bar of side spin to the right. Perfect ball. Oh, man, I mean, look at that. So really good, solid setup. Just a little bit more side spin to the right. And I think we can drop hole number 3 for an albatross. So don't forget to bring your Guardian to hole number 3. Hole number 4, again, I'm going to show you the same thing like I did hole number 2. I'm going to show you a free-to-play ball here, Kingmaker, and then I'll show you a Centurion or any type of wind resistance ball, wind resistance 4 or 5, but you do need a side spin 3 on this hole. So I kept missing this one to the right-hand side in practice, which you're going to see here. Another miss to the right. The thing here is, I don't really use enough offset to the left. So you can see this is where we're aiming after spin. We get a perfect ball. We hit the rough, but the speed is great. But you can see here we just missed by a fraction to the right-hand side. So obviously we just need to move our target over a little bit more to the left, and we'll be good there. But if you have a ball like this, you can most certainly use one of these. I'm not going to do anything different other than set the side spin, set the top spin. And here you're going to see this is essentially the same setup that I used on the last shot, but with the reduced wind, it's going to help me come more towards the pin. This is only 5.3 miles an hour. Obviously very low on the pro scale. And this one we go dead center of cup. So that was 5.3 miles an hour. That one was 5.8, so we reduce it by half. So that's good when we're able to do that. Sometimes that can make all the difference, but I guess not really a huge difference at the end of the day. Just a little bit of offset with the Kingmaker, and you should be good to go. That'll take us to hole number 5. Hole number 5, this one's kind of strange. You can do this shot. Now, keep in mind, I know a lot of people are going, wow, you got an extra mile 6, an APOC 6. I get it, but you can do this shot with an APOC 5. That's probably as low as I would go, so APOC 5. But you can also do this type of shot with an extra mile as well. I'm just choosing the APOC because obviously it has a more power stat than our extra mile. So I'll kind of show you what I'm aiming at here too. After I set my spins, which is 6 top, so it's not even like we're using the extra top spin on the APOC 6. We're just going 6 top. And then I'm trying to show you what I'm aiming at as I push my rings up. You see, as I go to full extension, notice at the end of my ball guide line is splitting that leaf pile in half in the rough. That's what I'm looking at. That's where I want to set up. Just like that. I don't know why I did it so many times. But here, I make my wind adjustment. Now, this one's going to be a little bit fluky, okay? On this account, I make it down there to where we want to be. On my other account, I hit them both perfect. And I clipped the side of a tree on my other account. So here, we miss it completely. Maybe a different wind angle. But like I said, on my other account, I clipped the tree and I bounced out to the top part of the fairway, which is a very difficult shot, too, to get to drop. So a lot of luck on this one. As you see, I also skirted right past that sand line as well. But shot number 2 gives you a good full topspin shot. Here we can just use a little bit of offset to the right-hand side of the cup. We're able to get ourselves a perfect ball. And we fall very nicely into there for an eagle. So a little bit inconsistent on this one, but the shot's definitely there. And now we head on to hole number 6. Hole number 6 is going to be challenging simply for the fact that we're going to have, headwind to deal with. Now, I'll say my opponent here took a really nice shot where he curled the ball to the right-hand side of the fairway, and then he had a good rough bump opportunity for an albatross, like over these trees. Definitely pretty dangerous. I would imagine you need, good clubs to do that with, like a maxed out sniper or a really good cataclysm. I think he used a cataclysm on shot 2, but it was a really cool line that I've seen played before, but I've never played it myself. For me, I'm just going full top spin, and I'm just going to go full overpower. I'm trying to get this ball to the second fairway with 1 bounce. When I stretch my club out on the drive, it looks like I was able to accomplish it, and I did. So we go 1 bounce here, 2 bounce, and then over. So that's what I was looking to do. I got lucky. It happened. Not everybody's going to have that same type of luck, right? You might hit the rough and roll out, but you would still be okay to do the bounce over shot to pin for shot number 2. This one I play minus 10% at mid. We do come pretty close here. Just a little bit of tweaking might help you get this one down. I go 1 side spin to the right. I've got the ball guide line going through the hole. That's going to be important too because we do have a flicker of headwind here. When the wind angle starts, like when it's your turn, you see that we have a little slight flicker of headwind. So make sure you account for that with the ball guide line going through the pin. Again, I played this one minus 10% at mid. You'll see that we clip the rough. We come pretty darn close. I mean, the speed is perfect. We miss this one just by a fraction to the right-hand side. Maybe we move our target over just a little bit and offset. I think that would probably be the best thing to do on that particular shot. All right, this one, I get a hole in a one-on-one account. I missed it on the other. So, we talk about consistency. I was playing this one at different elevation in practice, but I kept missing. So let me show you what I'm looking for here. 3 bars of side spin to the right combined with 3.2 back. You see me zoom in on this hole. I don't know what other players' approaches are, but I actually look for the green square line on this hole. I just want you to take a look at the end of my ball guide line, how it's curving around and coming back down towards the slope. I was trying to aim right there in the bottom pocket corner of that light green square. Like, that was my reference point. bottom of the left green square, left-hand side. And then from there, I had a good idea of how to curl my shot. So as long as I was aiming there on both of my accounts, all I had to do was figure out the curl. So you'll see the curl here. I basically have the left edge of my ball right up against the inner wall of the blue target there, using a little bit of overpower just because of the headwind. Also pulling this one at 20% because of the headwind. We don't normally play this hole at 20%, but because of the headwind, we have to add a little bit extra elevation to the hole, and we're playing it at max. So there's a lot of different stuff that we're doing here, but I was able to sneak it in there on the right-hand side for a hole-in-one. This is a tough hole to duplicate because of the curl, adding the extra elevation at 20%. But I do believe the spin adjustments are really good. If you can find that landing spot and you can try to, replicate that curl, you're going to be pretty darn close. If anything, you might miss by a fraction to the right-hand side. We normally miss this one to the left-hand side, so that curl is strong. But, again, some of you are going to get it, some of you aren't. If you hit a perfect ball and you got that same landing spot, you're going to be really, really, really close there to the hole-in-one on hole number 8. Or hole number 7, I mean. This is hole number 8. Hole number 8, easy here. Just take your big topper, power it through, full top spin, 1 bar of side spin to the left. All you want to do here in head or in tailwind is make sure that you clip the rough and that you roll out to the fairway. You don't want too much at the end of your ball guideline in the fairway, because if you do, you're probably going to catch the tailwind push, and you're going to get a very aggressive roll into the sand. So keep in mind on that. You don't want to accidentally overpower this shot either. This needs to be a normal shot. This ball needs to be hit perfect with the right setup, and you're good to go. And that's it. That's easy. That's an easy chip in there on hole number 8. I'm seeing a lot of people have a really cool quarterback shot. Boy, I can't tell you how many people have sent me a quarterback shot with a King Slayer ball. You'd have to, have those balls in your bag to pull off the shot. So, I'm not going to show it on here because I don't know how many people will have that. But there is a really cool curl option from the right-hand side, I guess, in tailwind here, that can get you down towards the green and putt in. But anybody can do the big topper shot. It doesn't matter what level you have. If you're playing pro, you probably got at least like a level 3 or 4. That big topper shot is very, very consistent as long as you hit perfect. But that goes with any shot to hit perfect. Now we go to hole number 9. Hole number 9, again, challenging wind. I was pretty happy with the minus 17 when you have this challenging of wind. We're going to be using our rock here. 2 bars of side spin to the left, combined with 1 bar of top spin. I do back my target all the way up to the plus 18 so that I can pull my rings as accurately as possible. Now, I use a little bit of overpower here. I don't really suggest that because on my other account, I did the same thing, and I accidentally rolled into the rough. I was still able to save the eagle, by making a long chip-in shot. But be careful here with your overpower on hole number 9 because you really want to try to play this shot right here, minus 20% at max. Now, I don't make this. I think I end up pulling into overpower here, which means I had to overpower this shot a little bit. So a little bit disappointed with my performance on hole number 9 and 18 as I did not pick up the albatross in the final round like I was getting in the other rounds. But at the end of the day, I did my best. If you have a power 5 ball, high wind resistance, of course, that's going to put you in a better situation than what I had here. I use a little bit of curl to the left. Oh, this is the wrong replay. So I got stuck up here. There was a replay in which I did pull into overpower, and I had to use overpower. I used no curl, and then I ended up missing to the right-hand side of the hole, so that's why I used the left curl there. But as you can see, not my best performance on hole number 18. I do hope I did a good job for you, though. Please subscribe, please hit the thumbs up, and if you'd like to donate to my channel for my time and effort, and if you just want to support me in general, you can always check out the PayPal link in the comments below. I appreciate everybody. I will see you next week for the 9-hole cup. Have a great Sunday.